Fabulous. So this is the last but one of the seven mindset uh, workshops, which when all combined, and I do recommend going back through them, help install certain mindsets, certain ways of feeling and thinking about the world, which will help benefit you in many ways, help you be more successful, help you kind of problem solve better, help you just deal with, as we've been talking, the challenges that come up. And today we're looking at, and I'll be hands up, and out of all these different areas, this is probably the one that I'm not so devoted to. So I'm going to take myself through my own workshop later on, and I'm going to look at energy and health. So we've looked at self-belief, we've looked at clarity, we've looked at determination, we've looked at connection, and we've looked at creativity. So today, looking at energy and health, and there are 4 things that are really key to maintaining, to the best of our abilities, energy and health. Sleep, making sure we get enough sleep, and good sleep. I was talking about this when I did the workshop earlier on in the school. Caffeine deprives you of deep sleep for 12 hours. So if you have a cup of tea or a cup of coffee at 9 o'clock at night, your first opportunity to get into deep sleep will be 9 o'clock the next morning, roughly, which is no use to you. And it's when you're in deep sleep that your nervous system properly resets, your body properly refreshes and relaxes. So if you've got caffeine in your system running through you at the night, you're not getting that deep replenishment that deep sleep brings. Diet, and with cost of livings going up and up and up, it can be trickier and trickier to eat healthier all the time. But things we eat really do have an impact on how we feel. Living here in town, it can be very easy, especially if, like tonight, when we were later coming back, and if I wasn't doing this tonight, you kind of have to walk past a chip shop to get home, and it's the best one in town. And so sometimes it's really easy to go, oh, let's just get fish and chips. But then, like that night, once I've ate them, and I really notice it if we've done it before a session on here, I'm struggling to get my thoughts out. I'm struggling to get my words out because that food's not actually done me any good. It's stopped me feeling hungry, but that's about it. And so our diet really impacts on how we're feeling. I remember the first time I experimented with going vegetarian. I was doing a lot of meditation work at the time, and someone said, if you really want to take your meditation work somewhere else, yeah, completely carb overload. Especially if I've got a really good baker's up the road as well. It's not ideal, but it's great. So yeah, and I was doing this meditation work, a series of different meditations, and I decided I was going to do the whole vegetarian thing. And so I did, signed up, took up vegetarianism for, I think it was about 12 months. And within a couple of months, the experiences of my meditation work vastly changed. Same happened actually when I ditched caffeine. Was it last year or a year before? I ditched caffeine for quite a large part of the year. And I'm not suggesting everyone becomes vegetarian, but again, it's our diet really does affect our thinking and how we're feeling within ourselves. An interesting thing to look into, and I've only touched the surface of it out of initial interest, is the whole Ayurvedic system, the Indian Ayurvedic system, which a large part of that looks at who you as you are have a certain type, and certain types of people, there are preferable foods for them to eat. Now, for example, I really like spicy food, but according to Ayurvedic science, I'm going to say science because it's seen as a science, I shouldn't really eat that much in the way of spicy food. It won't make me function at my best. It won't be the best thing for my mind and my body and my spirit. And you can tell often they get some people who they seem to not have a stop on their talking. They literally will kind of chat, and quite often, according to Ayurvedic science again, that is down to them not eating the right foods. And if they eat the right foods, it balances their body. It's the best food for harmonizing their system. And actually, things like that will drop. Anxiety levels will drop if you're following the Ayurvedic thing and eating the right foods associated to your type. It's interesting. If nothing else, look up Ayurvedic types online. And there's quite a lot of free questionnaires out there that you can fill in. And a good questionnaire is quite a lengthy questionnaire. I've got a book. Oh, you can find a book with it, of course. I did it through a book, but there's some online as well. And you go through and just ask you all these questions, and it'll tell you your type, and it will suggest foods that are either good for you. Some foods are indifferent. It's like, yeah, eat that. It's not going to bother you. Some foods are great. Oh, how do you spell it? Ayurvedic, I think. I did. Was that right? That was right. That's good. I've been painting all afternoon. My brain's splattered with emulsion. It's really interesting, and you don't have to follow it completely. But if you're finding your energy levels are low, if you look at Ayurveda, you can often see that once you know your type, you go, oh, actually, that's me, and I do eat a lot. I'm going to say beetroot because it's the first thing that popped into my head. And according to this, my type shouldn't really eat beetroot because it affects your energy levels. Ditch the beetroot, experiment with it, have fun, play with it, see if it makes a difference. It's not going to do it overnight, but over, say, 2 or 3 weeks, if you've been eating a couple of beetroot a day, I don't know anyone that does that, to be honest, but if you were, to cut that out for like you do with intolerances, if you maybe you've got a yeast intolerance or something, so you cut out anything, or bread or wheat or whatever, you cut it out for a while, or dairy intolerances, you cut it out for a while, see if it makes a difference to how you're feeling. So on the diet side of it, I'm not a dietitian, but if you want to at least have something interesting, even on a rainy afternoon, to have a look into, have a look at the Ayurvedic system, see what foods you eat that it suggests you should. Guarantee there's going to be some there that you think, but I really like that, but it says you shouldn't. And then it's up to you. You can go, okay, well, that says I shouldn't be eating spicy food, because if I eat spicy food, I don't know, I'll make some of that. I'm prone to dizzy spells. And if you think, well, I've been having dizzy spells, I'll ditch the spicy food, see if it makes a difference. There's no harm in playing around with that. So 4 things: sleep, diet, exercise. We know exercise helps maintain our health. We all have different levels of ability with that. I've just started doing my yoga again. Put it this way, I ain't gonna be doing any classes any time. It's not that I ever have, but I'm doing well not to fall over at the moment with it. So, but then it's been a good couple of years at least, if not longer now, since I really put any time into that. But there's different, there's a, when you get into a certain age where YouTube flashes up videos, go, are you almost in your 60s? Do you want to still look ripped and like, and why don't you do, this is yoga, this is Pilates, this is chair aerobics, and there's some old bloke with a big grey beard, and he's doing all the elbow to knee stuff in a chair and stuff, and he looks like he's been down the gym for 60 years, and so, but we all have different levels of ability, and whether that's down to health, circumstance, or whatever else, of what we can do exercise wise. But as long as we're doing a little bit of something that's more than just our normal day, it's going to benefit us. And you got to be sensible with it. It's like my brother, he's running 52 miles in a marathon this year, in one marathon. Why? I don't get it. He loves it. But obviously, if I was like, yeah, I'll go and join you, guess who's going to be airlifted off by the air ambulance? It's not going to be him, is it? Where he's out practicing and doing it all the time. It's going to be me with me fish and chips. So we all have abilities and levels with exercise. So, find something. I've spoke about Milton Erickson quite a bit in the past, and about how when he was hit by polio and paralyzed, they thought he wouldn't last one more night. And he heard the doctor say this, and he thought, no, I'm not having that. And he not only lasted the night, but he slowly taught himself how to move. And his exercise for weeks was literally just getting his fingers to do this, because that was all he could do. But it slowly developed and slowly grew until he could move his hands. And he was basically not just re-exercising, but retraining his mind to do those things that the polio had taken from him. And he went on to have an amazing career. And he got polio in his 50s and overcome it again, because he knew he could, although it did leave him a slight slur and stuff on the second time. So exercise and attitude, and obviously with I Meditate, it's more about that attitude. It's those mental states. That's what we've been doing the last half a dozen workshops. If we do our best, and we can only ever do our best, within these 4 areas throughout our lives, we will maintain relatively good energy levels and relatively good health levels. And obviously, as I've just said, we can all do just what we do, but any increase in activity is going to have a bonus, even if it's only a small amount. So the thing I invite people to do with this, again, I can't coach on exercise. In fact, Claire actually does gym work and all that, and she's probably actually trained to teach exercise and that. But what I would do is encourage people to just experiment and see what extra bit of activity you can do. What if you look at those 4 areas, if you can tweak your diet a little bit, maybe on a rainy day, have a look at the Ayurvedic stuff and go, oh yeah, we'll have to look at that. A little bit more activity, working on the attitude. And if you find you're not sleeping great, or you're not waking up feeling refreshed, look at what you're doing before you go to bed. Look whether you're on a computer or on a TV screen. If you've got to watch something, some people go, I've got to watch something before I go to sleep. Make sure it's comedy, because if you're watching comedy before you go to bed, especially if it's something that really makes you laugh, when you're laughing, your brain is releasing endorphins, you feel good and you relax. And so you're actually in a better place to get off to sleep. And we could bring those 4 areas of sleep, diet, exercise, and attitude down to just 3, and look to get a balance of, because I always like simplifying things. If we could take those 4 anyway, it's basically some sort of activity and exercise, healthy eating, and good mental health, which is your attitude and working on yourself. And when these all balance, when we get it right, they naturally support each other. If you're eating well and you're doing what you can activities wise, then your mind is likely to be in the best place it possibly can. That's not to say there's not going to be stuff going on out there that is challenging, but your mind is likely to be in the best place possible for dealing with those challenges. And there was a guy in America, and I found this fascinating. I meant to write his name down, but I forgot to by the looks. He was 109 in I think it was something like 2010 or 2013, I want to say. He was still driving. He would run errands for his old friends. He was 109. How he had old friends, I don't know. They must have all been younger than him. He was living independently, and he credited his long life and his ability to still do the things he was doing at that age to remaining positive, which is our attitude, our mental health, being active, and eating healthily. Those were the 3 things he said that got him to 109. All nicely balanced, all equally supporting each other. And when it comes to our minds, and I was talking about this earlier on today in the workshop I was delivering, our minds, it's been proven, have the ability to affect our immune system. During COVID, there was quite a lot about it, about how if we're stressing and worrying about COVID and everything that's going on, we're actually reducing the efficiency of our immune system. We're depleting our immunity because stress does that, which would actually make us more prone to possibly picking up the very thing we're stressing about. Which was partly actually one of the thoughts that went into the background of the original starting up doing the 2 weeks teaching for iMeditate was, you know, stress. If you're really anxious, really stressed, you're more likely to pick an illness up. So let's teach meditation so people can fight it at that level. And there's been a lot of experiments done within hypnosis about how our mind can affect and the immune system as well. So they've taken people and relaxed them deeply and found that it boosts the immune system. And visualization is also can affect our health. And I refer again to Milton Erickson. I said that he used to do like this as his exercise. But before he could do that, he couldn't move. He was literally paralyzed from the neck down. And he lay there in bed, just remembering and imagining. And, you know, like when we'll do something, I'll say, picture yourself there, see yourself doing the thing. How are you feeling? How are you moving? He was basically doing that with himself, imagining, thinking back to times when he could move his arms, could move his legs, and would be like, just imagining what was going on, trying to recreate every sensation of it, what it felt like, what his body was doing and everything as much as he could to retrain his body to move. So that's pure imagination, that's pure visualization that started his journey to recovery on that. Within the first 9 months of starting up seeing people, which I realized with my original mentor John passing last week, a couple of weeks back, it's actually been 12 years. I'd already been doing hypnosis, I'd already been doing retreats and things, but I actually decided to take it on as a serious study 12 years ago. And within the first 9 months, I had somebody come to me who lived on Anglesey, which is a fair trek to Shrewsbury. I'd met them at an event before I was performing magic at the event, and they came over. And the premise was they had really bad eczema on their hands and feet, to the point where it was all cracked, and walking sometime would make them cry. It was really painful. And they were basically told by the doctors, there's nothing much else we can do. Keep rubbing it with the steroid cream or whatever it was they'd given her, and get on with it. And she got in touch and going, look, this is soul destroying. Is there anything you can do? And I said, I mean, it was early days for me with the hypnosis, but I said, we can do one of two things. One, if there is some sort of biological reason for why you're experiencing this, I don't know whether we can actually make a difference to that. But with hypnosis, we can at least get your head into the best place possible to be able to deal with the challenges it gives you, so it doesn't get you down as much. But also, if there is anxiety and stress component behind this, which quite often with eczema there is, then I believe we can certainly make a difference. And took her through the session. It involves some visualization, it involves some hypnosis, working just with the mind, as we've done many a time with iMeditate. And then she went, and I didn't hear from her for 3 months. And after that 3 months, I had an email come through, and I still use the picture every now and again when I'm marketing things and selling people. After the 3 months, get this email through, and there's a picture of her hands with the eczema, and it's all like just really sore looking. And then there's a picture of another pair of hands, both of which were hers. The second pair of hands was completely free. And over those 3 months, within the first month, it had completely cleared up off her feet, off her hands. And she said, and so I left it another 2 months to make sure it was really cleared up before I contacted you to say it worked. And so that was using the mind. That was, what technique do we use? That was, I think I've used it in the group, where we create a symbol that represents something and change the symbol. And that's what we did. So using visualization to affect a change, to reduce those stress and anxiety levels, which then had a knock-on physical effect. So our mind state when it comes to our health and well-being, which is the side of it more that I'm obviously focused on, is really important. And stress really kind of affects our health. But one of the beauties is that as I meditate members, there's a really nice growing library of things to help you relax and reduce your stress and deal with stress and stuff. So all those tools are there to help you. And relaxation is a big key to our boosting our energies and our health. When we're feeling at odds with the world, when we're feeling scattered with the world, if you think about it energetically, we're sending all that energy out. It's not together. When we relax and our mind's calm and our bodies are calm, our energy kind of settles and it comes into us, and then we're more able to be more active and more focused. And relaxation is so part of the new mindset that we're building over these sessions, and part of that is the ability to relax. What I'm going to share with you is another technique, another method. For some reason I said a secret method. I don't know why I call it a secret method. I guess if you didn't know it, it was secret. But a really simple method that you can use to really relax, and time spent in deep. I was reading can't actually remember which book it was. Probably when you have several on the go, isn't it? I was reading, I think it was the Zen Buddhism book. Or it might actually have been a podcasting minute, where they were saying that meditation really is just deep, deep relaxation. Because when you enter into deep, deep relaxation, your mind is only focused within. It's calm, your mind is relaxed, your body is relaxed. And that is what we're after when we're meditating, that deep relaxation, that deep sense of inner calm and stillness. And so this is a nice method that you can use, a nice technique that will help you relax, help you feel energized. And the other good thing with that is the more of these techniques we have, the more ability we have to go, right, I need to relax, and knowing how we're going to do it, the more resilient we are when there are challenges. So let's have a look at this exercise. Let's take a drink, a bit of a throwback from the cold. I've still got a sore throat. So let's have a fidget as we do, get comfortable. We're going to look at two different techniques now. But the first one is a really nice one for relaxation. It uses the mind, it uses your imagination. It's the most powerful tool you've got. So have a fidget, get comfortable, and if it helps to close your eyes with this, then do. We'll take a nice deep breath in just to draw that line from listening and thinking to doing. And I want you, and you can have some fun with this if you like. I said today when I was doing the talk, well-being doesn't have to all be serious. That's why we did a guided meditation to Costa. Imagine how you would look twice as relaxed as you are now. Just imagine that. How you would look twice as relaxed as you are right now. Just take a moment to imagine that. However you do that, get that image, get that sense, however that is for you. How you would look twice as relaxed as you are right now. Now I want you to float into that you. Just drift into that you, float into that you. See the world as that you sees the world. Hear the world, how that you, twice as relaxed, hears the world. And feel now how it feels to be twice as relaxed. And from this place of twice as relaxed, I want you to imagine how you would look twice as relaxed again as you are now. Just imagine how you'd look, how you'd be twice as relaxed again as you are now. What's the expression on your face? How do you sit? How would you move? Just be aware of the details of that you, twice as relaxed as you are now. And then float into that you. Drift into that you, float into that you. See the world the way that you sees the world. Hear the world, but hear your thoughts the way that you is thinking. And feel what it is to be twice as relaxed now. Really get a sense of that. Twice as relaxed now. And now, as you're twice as relaxed, I want you again to imagine from this place how you would look if you were twice as relaxed again. Twice as relaxed again as you are now. Twice as relaxed. Just imagine that you. So relaxed. And as you get that image of you twice as relaxed again as you are now, just float into that you. See what that you sees. Hear the thoughts, if any, of that you. Feel what it's like to be twice as relaxed. Just take a moment, or 3, 2, just enjoy that now. No agendas, nothing to achieve. Just twice as relaxed for the sake of being twice as relaxed. And anytime you need to relax, you can take yourself through this process. Or at the end of a busy day, if you think, oh, I just want to unwind, you can take yourself through this. Finding it easy to remember and even easier to do, knowing that twice as relaxed. I guess you could relax that down as many times as you wished. Just imagining. And I wonder if you were to imagine 3 times as relaxed, how that would appear. How would a you 3 times more relaxed? How would that you look? And as you notice that you, drift in to that you. 3 times as relaxed. Now, again. See what that you sees, feel what that you feels. Hear and sense the world as 3 times more relaxed. And when we become relaxed, we get into that place and allowing ourselves the time to just let go, to drift and enjoy that feeling as the mind and the body makes the most of that relaxation, its natural state of reset, of refresh, to begin to feel good, centered, grounded, allowing the body to store the energy we need for whatever we need to get on with. And the beauty of it is, all this just happens by itself when you relax deeper than you were a moment ago, or twice or 3 times as deep as you were a few moments before that. Every way like this, now, in every place, relaxed. And then when you're ready to return, to come back, start bringing yourself back out. Ready to move on to embrace the rest of the session, the next method we're going to look at. Feeling good. And when you're ready to feel good, centered and relaxed, then you can open your eyes. Be here now. There we go. There we go. See Sally moving now as well. So that's a really simple way that for you, even for yourself, and I encourage you, tonight as you're going to bed, just use that as you're lying there. Just go, right, I'm going to imagine myself twice as relaxed here now as I am. And when you've got that idea of what that would look like, drift into that imagine what it would feel like, how it would seem. I think if I was in bed and feeling relaxed, it would probably, my first thing would be my eyes would probably, I wouldn't see as much as I did when I wasn't relaxed, because my eyes would probably be closing. But play around with it. The more you play with any of these techniques, the more you use them, the more you're going to get from them. And this one is especially, I like this one. You can use this pretty well anywhere, anytime as well. And also it's a good one if someone needs to if they're a bit wound up, you can just take them through it. Nothing too difficult for them. And just, yeah, it's a nice way of doing it. Fabulous. So we're going to move forward, and at the end of each of the sessions, we've installed a certain mindset. And today is no different. We're going to look at installing an enhanced well-being mindset, a mindset that encourages you without any effort to just focus more on that health, on that well-being, on the things that we've talked about today. So I invite you to get comfortable, to have a fidget. I don't know whether it was twice as more relaxed or 3 times more relaxed. Well, I'm not sure which of those for you feels like the right amount of relaxation for you to get the most out of this next bit. So as you sit there, just close your eyes and imagine what it was like to be twice as or 3 times as relaxed than you are now. How did that feel? What was that like? Just recall that memory of how that felt to be so much more relaxed. And just drift into that that more relaxed you. And as that more relaxed you, I want you to imagine, picture yourself, however you do that, sitting in a cinema. You've got the whole place to yourself. Sit wherever you want to sit, wherever's the best place for you to sit to get the most from this. Now, as you picture yourself, be there in your mind. See the screen, see the space around you, get a feel for it. The lights dim down, the movie starts playing, and it's a movie of yourself in perfect health. Mind, body, and spirit, all in balance, all in harmony. Just picture and imagine that you on that screen, that movie with you in perfect health. Notice your expressions, the way you move, your posture. Notice the light in your eyes, how they glow, how they radiate health and strength. Become aware of every detail of that you on that screen. Now, I don't know what that you looks like to you or what that you is doing on that screen, but what I want you to do is to rise up and float into that screen, into that you, that perfect health you, and see through the eyes of that super healthy you. Hear the inner dialogue of that super healthy you. Notice what it feels like to be that super healthy you. Body and mind, all healthy, all feeling good. And notice where feels best as that you. Where within you feels the best as that super healthy you? And as you become aware of that, I want you to give it a color. Whatever that color is to you, of that wonderful feeling of that super healthy you, just give it a color. There's no right or wrongs with that. Whatever the color that is for you, take that color now and spin it throughout your body so it starts to fill your body with that color. Filling your body with that color, allowing that color to radiate through you. And as it spins and it flows, filling your whole body. Imagine your whole body now filled with that color, with that feeling. And now I want you to double the brightness of that color. Make it even brighter, radiating out even more. And double it again. Double it again. Keep doubling that now. Every breath in, every breath out, double the brightness and the vibrancy of that color, so that every cell and atom and molecule of your body is radiating with that color, with that strength, with that vitality and that health. Keep spinning it, keep letting it flow until it can just do it by itself. It doesn't need your input anymore. It can just flow and spin within you, helping you towards that healthier mindset, helping you towards that healthy you. And as you double that brightness, double that feeling of that super healthy you, and I want you to take your anchor, your finger and your thumb, and just pinch them together, squeezing that finger and thumb until that feeling is just at the top of its peak, and then just release that thumb and finger for a moment, keeping that color flowing, feeling those feelings, seeing the things you're seeing as that super healthy you, and pinch that finger and thumb together again, connecting that. Every time you do this, you can access that sense of that healthier you, healthier in mind, healthier in body, and then just release it again. And then pinch it up again, pinch those finger and thumb today and squeeze that tighter, squeezing that until you can really feel those feelings of health and positivity and good mindset and good body and everything, energy flowing, feeling really, really good. Just allowing that feeling, squeezing that finger and thumb and doubling that feeling, doubling that brightness until it's radiating out everywhere and around you, within you, glowing wonderfully, brightly, and just release that trigger. Just allow that feeling, that sense to just be there with you. And it's good to have that feeling, to have those thoughts and connect with that idea, because now you've accessed that super state of health. And through anchoring it with the finger, you've added it to that super state of self-belief, clarity, determination, connection, and creativity, all mixing together, all blending together into your super state of mind. A mind that brings success, a mind that has great self-worth, a mind that can flex and flow and meet challenges. Just thinking about all those things, self-belief, the clarity, the determination, connection, creativity, and now that super health state of mind. Just pinch that finger and thumb together, allowing each one of those to all fire within you at the same time. All the work we've done just working through you. And just release that and sit with that for a moment. And so, when you're ready to return with that new super state of mind, that super health state of mind installed and working quietly for you in the background, you don't have to think about this. It just works for you. When you're ready to return with that and all those other states of mind connected and together, ready to explore next week the final session in this series where we're looking at inner happiness. When you're ready to discover that inner happiness and that super state of mind completed, then and only then you can start to return. And when you're decided that you're ready to feel good and have a great week, then and only then open your eyes feeling good, knowing that whatever challenges you face, you can meet. Just need to relax and look at it from a more centered place, to find solutions, to discover ways. And when you're ready to come back completely and feel really good, then bring yourself back, becoming aware of the room about you, tips of your toes, your fingers. Start to give them a little wiggle as you start to turn. And then when you're fully back, have a stretch, have a fidget, feel good, and open your eyes.